Hello and welcome to our software tutorial series. This tutorial will provide you with information about moving and linking in the tax software. After completing this tutorial, you should be able to identify the form that the tax software opens when you open a new return, and indicate the order in which you should complete forms in the tax software. Use function keys and key combinations to navigate the tax software. Navigate through a form using the mouse. List the ways you can add a form to a return. List the forms that must be linked from a parent form, relink a depreciation worksheet to a new parent form, and delete a form in the tax software. When you start a new return in the 1040 package, the tax software displays the main information sheet. Other packages display page 1 of the primary tax forms. When preparing Form 1040, you must complete the main information sheet first before proceeding to any other form in the return. The information from this form carries to other areas of the return. After completing the main information sheet, move on to the income statements in the return, such as Form W-2, 1099-R, 1099-G, and Schedule K-1. Then complete any other supporting forms and schedules. Entering tax return information can be done quickly and easily using either the mouse or the keyboard. The tax software has integrated many ways to move from entry to entry using the keyboard. To go to the next required or read entry, press the Ctrl and E keys at the same time. Use the Enter or Tab key to move to the next entry on the form. To go back to the first entry on a page, press the Ctrl and Home keys at the same time. To go directly to the last entry on the page, press the Ctrl and End keys at the same time. The Home key takes you to the first character in the current entry. The End key takes you to the last character in the current entry. From the Forms tree, use the Control Page Down key combination to go to the next form in the list. The Control Page Up key combination takes you to the previous form in the list. Press Tab or Enter to place the cursor in the highlighted form. The Page Down key moves you to the next section of the current page. Pressing this key while at the bottom of the page takes you to the next form in the Forms tree. Similarly, the Page Up key takes you to the previous section of a page or to the previous form in the Forms tree if pressed while at the top of a page. To scroll quickly from one part of the form to another, use the mouse to click and drag the form or the sidebar. Here are some more tips to remember when you are entering information into the forms. On the checkboxes, type the letter X, press the space bar, or click with the mouse to mark the box. The Ctrl-Z key combination undoes the last action performed on a form. For example, to restore a value that was just changed or deleted by accident, press Ctrl-Z to restore the previous value. Use standard Windows shortcuts to cut, copy, and paste data in entries. Use Ctrl-X to cut a selected entry, Ctrl-C to copy a selected entry, and Ctrl-V to paste data into an entry. Press the F5 function key from an entry to open a calculator. The tax software enters the result of your calculation to the entry when you press Enter. To close the calculator without copying, press Escape. A down arrow next to an entry indicates that there is a drop-down list available. Click the arrow or press the spacebar to see and select from the drop-down list. Right-click an entry to select from a menu that offers options relevant to that entry. There are several ways to quickly add a form to a return. First, with the cursor in a form entry, press the F9 function key to link to and open a form that supports that entry. For example, to open a Schedule C, press F9 on Form 1040 line 12. Select New Schedule C page 1 to open the Schedule C. To close the linked form and go back to where you were, press the F10 function key. Another way to link to a form is to right-click in the form entry, then click Link in the shortcut menu. Clicking the link icon to the right of the entry also opens the Entry Link dialog box. You can also use the Ctrl F10 key combination to open the form list. There you can select the specific form you need. You can also open the form list by clicking the Add Form Display Forms List tab. On the form list, you can scroll through the forms and select the one you need, or type the shortcut for the form in the Look For box and press the Enter key. For a numbered form, such as Form 2441, type the form's actual number and press the Enter key. In most cases, you only need to type 1 or 2 numbers to find and select the form. You can view a complete list of shortcuts in the shortcut column of the form's list. If you can't find the form you need, click Can't Find It, Try Form Filter List, and search for the form. See the software help for more information on using this feature. Another way to add a form is by pressing the Shift F10 key combination to create a new blank copy of the currently open form. This can only be done from forms that allow more than one copy. Most tax forms can be opened either by linking or selecting the form directly from the form list. Regardless of how you open the form, the tax software carries the data to the correct line or form in the tax return. There are, however, some forms that you must link to the correct parent form in order for the tax software to know where to carry the resulting data. These forms include Form 1099 Miscellaneous, Form 4562, Form 4852, Form 6198, and Form 8829. To open Form 1099 Miscellaneous, you must link from either Schedule C, Schedule CEZ, Form 1040 Line 21, Schedule E, Schedule F, or Form 4137. In order to correctly enter depreciation in the return, you should link to Form 4562 from the appropriate parent form. From Form 4562, link to a depreciation worksheet. Entries made on depreciation worksheets will be used to complete the information on Form 4562, which in turn generates the entries for the appropriate fields on the original parent form. Alternately, you can link directly to the depreciation worksheet from any form on which depreciation can be entered by using the Link Depreciation Worksheet button in the toolbar. In addition to Form 4562, depreciation worksheets can also be linked from Form 4797 and Form 6252. Besides linking from a parent form, these supporting forms can also be selected from the forms list. When you select one of these forms from the forms list, the tax software displays a list of possible parent forms. Select the correct one, and the tax software will link to an existing parent form or add both the new parent form and the supporting form to the return. Using the linking methods as mentioned earlier in this lesson allows you to link a new or existing form in the return. Remember, when you close the linked form by pressing the F10 function key, the form from which you linked will be opened in the workspace. In certain cases, you may have an asset worksheet linked mistakenly to an incorrect parent form, or an asset may have been moved by the taxpayer to a different business. The tax software allows you to change the parent form for depreciation worksheets. In the Forms tree, right-click on the depreciation worksheet that is linked incorrectly. In the menu that opens, select Change Parent Form and notice the pointer change shape. In the Forms tree, click the new parent form. A message will display asking to confirm the change. Click Yes to make the change. Click No to cancel the change. Choosing Yes will move Depreciation Worksheet and all of its calculations to the new parent form. The tax software will display an error message if the selected form cannot be the parent form. Another way of navigating to forms using the Forms tree is to press the beginning character of the form name as listed in the Forms tree. Press the same character again to move to the next form starting with that character. For working within a single form, use the Shift Page Down and Shift Page Up key combinations to open the next or previous page within a single form. You can also use the mouse to easily manipulate your forms by simply clicking a form name in the Forms tree to open that form. If a form has a plus sign beside it, click the plus sign to expand the view and show the additional pages or supporting forms. If a form has a minus sign beside it, click the minus sign to collapse the view and hide the additional pages or supporting forms. The tax software allows you to view two forms at the same time, allowing you to see changes in one form as you are entering data in another form. There are 3 ways to open this view. Press the F6 key with the first form open. You can also right-click an open form and select Show Second Form, or click the Form menu and select Show Second Form. Select the second form from the form list or from the Forms tree. To close the second form, you can press F6, use the right-click menu again, or click Form Show Second Form. If you find you have a form in a return that does not belong, you can easily remove it. There are 3 ways to do this. While the form is open, press the Shift and F9 keys together. Click the Remove Form tab at the top of the screen. Or you can right-click the form or the name of the form in the Forms tree and select Remove Form. If there are any attached supporting forms, an information window will list the forms that will be removed. At this point, you have an option to continue or cancel the deletion. Sometimes a form cannot be removed using the Remove Form option. If you use the interview sheet and the answer to a question on that form caused a particular form to load automatically in the return, you cannot delete the form until you change the answer on the interview. If you selected an entry on one form that caused another form to be loaded automatically in the return, you cannot remove the second form until you change the entry on the first form. For example, if you selected the Dependent Care checkbox for a dependent on the main information sheet, the tax software loads Form 2441 automatically. You cannot remove Form 2441 from the return as long as the checkbox on the main information sheet is selected. You should now be able to identify the form that the tax software opens when you open a new return, and indicate the order in which you should complete forms in the tax software. Use function keys and key combinations to navigate the tax software. Navigate through a form using the mouse. List the ways you can add a form to a return. List the forms that must be linked from a parent form. Relink a depreciation worksheet to a new parent form, and delete a form in the tax software. Thank you for viewing this tutorial.